Okay, let me just see if the light is is as it should be. Um, it's early morning here in Norway. I have my glasses on. Yes, I've gotten to that age. um, reading glasses. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm going to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a long time. It's a touchy subject for many people, apparently, and I can't see why. I can't see why. Um, People mix their emotions into this instead of trying to be sensible about it. I'm going to give it a few seconds or a minute or so, so that you, so that people can join the chat. um, sorry, if you are oh, sorry. If you're new to this channel, maybe if you come from my main channel to this channel now, I do most of my live streams here on this channel, that hence the name Bjorn Talks. So consider subscribing to this channel as well. Obviously, that helps these live streams and this channel on in the YouTube system, in the algorithm. Um, So yeah, consider subscribing if you are not already a subscriber. What I do in the chat here is that I in the settings you can do so you can set the settings so that only subscribers can join in the live chat, which I have done. So it takes about 3 minutes, I think, after you subscribe before you can join the live uh, chat. So please consider doing that. Okay, now our biggest problem moving forward. Um, and I'm going to be very blunt about this. Our biggest problem um, during the next few years, moving forward, will be taxation. Okay, stay with me here. Stay with me here. Taxation is going to be your the one thing that you spend the most money on, right? It probably is already. And everyone, well, practically everyone who are who is generating any kind of income will be taxed much more in the near future. Garden prepping. Yes, good to see you as well, and thanks a lot for the donation. Um, you can the way the live stream is set up by YouTube. If you give me a super chat, your comment will pop up if you didn't know, and I will see it. Um, and so you can consider doing that. I will try to keep an eye on the live stream anyway, but if there is something you really, really want me to see, consider a live stream. Sorry, a super chat. So taxation. It is. Here's what happens. Whenever I talk about taxation, I get zero sympathy, and people seem to not care so much about it. Um, I I'm going to be very honest, very open about this. I have a high income because I am here on YouTube. I have been on YouTube for several years. I have a large main channel, and also I have my main income comes from my novels that are being sold in several countries. So why would why would you care? You know, I people like me, you might say, well, you should be taxed a lot. That's the attitude that I'm faced with most of the time. But um, it's it's like it's not like I can't pay the bills. It's not like we. How should I explain this? The lie that your politicians are selling every single time is this: they are saying tax the rich, tax the rich. The rich, they don't deserve all that money, so we will tax them harder. Now, who are the rich? Who are those rich people? Who are those? I'll tell you who those rich people are. It's you. Tax the rich should be translated to tax everyone more. Everyone with an income, everyone who generates an income will be taxed more. So, Colin, thanks a lot. And yeah, good to see you as well. So, why do I think that taxation is going to be your biggest problem moving forwards? Because I believe that the system that we have now, the financial system, and also this system of people generating income and the state taking part of that income to help the country, so to speak, to help the citizens, which I am for. You know, I absolutely think that it's good that I pay taxes so that sick people, injured people, get treatment in the healthcare system, so that we can, maintain the roads, so that we can have kids at school, and so on and so on. That's good, you know, but this increased taxation that we are already seeing is not going to be financing that. No, it's you're going to see a level of taxation now that is aimed at taking everything you have, not literally everything, but taking you out of what you're doing. Um, Someone's got to pay for what we have been through, what some of you in many countries, what you're still in the middle of. And I really don't think that the state and the politicians are in charge anymore, because it just doesn't add up, does it? So, what could be better for these multinational large corporations? What could be better than this wealth transfer that we have been seeing during the last 2 years, if that could just continue? So, if you have, let me give you an example. Jefferson 33, we will show your comment. This guy is is a fool. Um, yeah, I'll have to block this troll. Uh, so, what I'm saying here, by the way, is based on my understanding of financial systems and also what it's like to run a business. Now, my education from university is in business administration. That's what I went to university for. So, and also I do run two companies, my own companies, and so I kind of think that I know what I'm talking about. We have seen a wealth transfer, and you know, the single most important No, not the single most important factor, but one of the decisive factors when it comes to running a business into bankruptcy is either taxes that are much too harsh, or failing to plan for the taxation. Um, and this is, maybe it doesn't affect you, but it will, because your employer might go bankrupt. And I think we're going to see a lot of businesses, small and medium-sized businesses, going bankrupt, or they will be bought by large corporations. So keep this in mind. I think that it's going to be very difficult to build up a fortune if you are just employed somewhere. It's going to be very difficult, because it's not what the people in charge want. They do not want that. They want that wealth, that generated wealth, to be theirs. Okay? So let's take a look at the chat here. Yeah, well, I see a comment there about Biden, and it's like, I wouldn't call what the Biden administration is doing. I wouldn't call it. uh, I wouldn't call it. You know what I would call it? A mistreatment, not mismanagement, but mistreatment of a country, because it's just a series of errors and mistakes and bad decisions. It's like it never ends. And you got to wonder, is this something that they wanted to happen? I don't know. Or are they just all incompetent? Um, so so I it's, I know this is a boring topic. This is something that most people think about as well. What can I do about this? I can do nothing about this. And what happens happens, and it doesn't affect me, some people say, um, because I don't have that high an income. Some people say, listen, you're going to be taxed more, much more. It doesn't matter if you're generating some kind of income, it will be taxed more than it used to be. Trust me, it will. And if you're looking at how much you pay in taxes, and it's, it's the same, and you can't see a big change. Well, listen, when you pay more when your electricity bill is higher, that's part of this, okay? And also, when you can pay more in taxes in other ways as well. When they increase the taxes, what the companies are doing is they increase their prices, right? So everything becomes more expensive. Increasing taxes is a major contribution to inflation. It's like, it's basic knowledge, really, but it seems like they don't want to talk about that, these politicians and so on. So we're going to go troll hunting for a little bit now, because this is one of those topics that some people, they can't manage to respect what I'm saying here. And there are lots of people out there with practically no understanding of the financial systems that are so important for our daily life, actually. And lots of people have almost no understanding of economy, you know. Um, let's see. Yeah, we're going to see if there are trolls here. So let's see here. I'm going to get rid of some comments. Not a troll comment, but Jonathan007 says, I removed my last dependence on society. I put a wood stove in my greenhouse and can produce all of my food year round now. That's awesome. Let's see here. Oh, I don't care about the trolls up in the chat there. Let's see here. I don't have moderators here because I have another system in place and it's very effective. I don't see many trolls. So, okay. Take no notice of trolls. Well, I have to, you see, because sometimes. No, we can't just ignore them. I can't get into detail there, but they can do harm, actually. So, taxation will be a problem. Now, how do you avoid that? There really is only one way to avoid it long term, and that's to avoid the monetary system. Now, I'm not saying that you should avoid the monetary system altogether. That would be very difficult. But growing your own food, bartering, and yeah, I know it sounds crazy, right? But it's not that complicated. It really is um, as simple as, let's say you have some skills in carpentry. You help a friend building a shed. And the deal is that that friend of yours will give you some, a couple of, I don't know, bags of tomatoes and potatoes the coming fall. Or something else. Maybe that was a very cheap shed, right? But things like that, you know. Let's say you have skills in fixing cars, which I don't at all. So I would probably then ask you, can you come and fix my car? And I could, in return, help you with, I don't know. I have some skills, but um, it's bartering, and that is completely legal. It's completely uh, it's healthy and and a good thing, and it builds friendship as well. You can even set up um, the exchange of goods. Let's say you have a market. You don't call it a market here. Well, you could, I guess, but um, and this I haven't seen, but maybe you have. But let's say you have you can call it a bushcraft camp a weekend, right? And you come there, several people with each their tent, and this would be fun, you know. No money, no money. You just barter. I would like to try that. I would like to try that. After a while, you kind of, and this I haven't experienced this, but what I understand is that after a while, people get a sense of how much things are really worth, right? So if I make a kuksa, which is a wooden cup, you know, um, do you own a sword? Yeah, can you see that? A couple of swords right behind me there, actually. um, let's see here. So maybe if I make a kuksa and I don't know how much how much in vegetables would that kuksa be worth? I don't know, but after a while you get a sense of that. I know it's a dream, it will never work, and so on and so on. But it's at least it's a start, and at least you can take some of your consumption out of the monetary system. So let's see here, Colin. Thanks again. Social programs. You're talking about social programs and capitalism. Interesting thoughts there. Absolutely. Yeah, and also the Jesus thing. It's a common theme here in the live stream. And you know, silver and creating your own monetary system outside of the monetary system is it's an interesting concept, but I will just say this, and I know it's very popular, especially among preppers. It's very easy to put tax on it, right? Very easy. So just saying that, keep that in mind. Of course, if you get a proper SHTF situation, there won't be any government to tax it, but we're not there, and I think it's probably that's not a state where you don't have not a state like a nation, but a situation where you don't have a government. I think that's unlikely. We will have much more government, not less, sadly. But okay, so um, Convert 313. Thanks a lot there. And you're writing, love your affinity with the woods and with ultimately with your heritage, Nordic mythology, Nordic history breakdown of Loki was incredible. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot there. Okay. So one thing is, of course, that you can try to avoid the monetary system. Another thing is, of course, that and this is a difficult concept. It's the idea that you just stop producing income when the tax level is too high. Now, I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm saying that, for instance, for me, I pay, I think it's 51% tax, 51, yes, and at at this level of taxation, if people ask me to come and do a lecture, I to be honest with you, they would have to pay me quite a lot of money, because if they pay me, the current, the normal rate, it's just not worth it for me, because I only get to keep 49% of that. And why would I spend a day working um, for extra for that? It's not just not worth it. So and that's the situation where you choose not to do extra work because the taxation is too high, and that's much more common than people realize. Um, and if you're like in another situation would be that you say that no, I won't work overtime. No, I won't do it because the taxation is too high. You know, so I see that coming as well. I see people refusing to work extra, refusing to put in extra hours because they just taxed too much. And then you're facing another problem, of course, and that is uh, the businesses would be, short of staff and so on. Yeah, I'm not taxed 51% from the first, like, krona or dollar I earn, but at this income level that I have now, most of it is taxed 51%. And if I make more money, it's all of that money is taxed 51%. So um, let's see here. Let's see. Renee, thanks a lot. That's very kind of you. Ash Miles is here. Good to see you as well. Yes. Okay. So I'm getting lots of questions about the Canadian truckers, and yes, I have seen it. What my opinion on that is? Well, it's very very cool. It's very cool. I must say, it's one of the most. It's one of the coolest thing I've seen in a long time. You know, um, and I understand also that it's a little bit this Trudeau fellow and those people. They were, what's the word? Condescending. They were kind of expressing a view where they were looking down on these people, working in such a very very essential business, you know. And now they are just showing those arrogant fools who is really in charge. I just it's just so cool. It's just awesome. It's awesome. Um, so let's see here. Yeah, so condescending. Yeah, I'm sorry if I used the wrong word. So Trudeau apparently said their ideas are unacceptable. I think Trudeau is unacceptable. I think the things he has said, the way he's saying it as well, it's sickening. It's sickening. He's like he's rising towards the top of the pyramid when it comes to being disgusting. You know, used to be the most disgusting so-called world leaders, because I don't think they are leaders at all. But that was until recently the French guy, the Macron. Yeah, and he's still, for me, he's at the top there. Um, Actually, and the Australian guy. I think, and then but it's like the competition is a very it's a lot of competition there. Yeah. Okay. Let's see her. Bill, thanks a lot for the donation. That's very much appreciated. Thank you. Um, thanks a lot, Chad L. Thanks a lot. That's very kind of you. So let me just change gear a little bit. Norway, I need to kind of tell you all that Norway is not as the rest of Europe, right? And this is kind of important. I'm Norwegian. I live in Norway, so just want to put the record straight, as they say. Um, and I understand Norway is a small country. Why would you know what's going on in Norway? But I have some good news actually. Norway will probably be dropping all restrictions very soon. Everything. Um, and there are people calling for these Vax passport inside to be used inside of Norway, but our government are saying that they're not going to do that because it makes no sense. That's actually what they are saying. The prime minister and the health authorities and so on in Norway, they are actually saying that. Now, I said in a live stream that they're going to start using that in Norway, and I'm so glad that I can tell you that at least right now, it looks like I was wrong. I'm I'm very, very happy about that. So I think this is something that happened because the former government, that was the so-called conservative government, they lost the election, and then we got a Labour government. It doesn't really, it's the same nonsense in a way, but because they got in there at the end of things, so to speak, they could say, well, we won't do as the former idiots did. We are much wiser. So they were in a unique position there. They didn't have to, they could put things back to normal in a, we will never go back to normal totally, completely, but they could go back to a more, they could drop the restrictions, right? And blame the conservative government for all their mistakes and so on. That's coming, I guess. There are things they will never say that will be become quite obvious. The effectiveness of the poke not being effective and all that. We're not supposed to talk about that here on social media. I know how it is, but there are things they will never admit. But yeah, let's not go there in this live stream. But Norway is not part of the EU. If Norway had been part of the EU, we would be in the same sorry state as the EU countries, where basically they have created a two-tier society, the poked and the unpoked, and the unpoked are discriminated against horribly. But it looks like right now we're not going there in Norway. Another country that will probably be, well, they actually have dropped all the restrictions, I think, England. Now, for me personally, I love England. I've been there many times. Scotland, I've been to Scotland more times than I've been to England. Scotland is still, I don't know. I don't know. But Scotland during the whole thing, was very authoritarian. sadly, but at least it looks like if this continues, I will be able to travel to England again, which I have been looking forward to. Um, so that's just, I want to say that, I'm hopeful right now because I missed traveling to England. So, um, Olivia Ruckley, thanks a lot there. Trudeau built, you're writing that Trudeau built the oil sands abomination that turned Alberta into a giant chemical waste dump and killed elk herds and gave everyone around cancer. That's horrible. Horrible. Convert 313 says, "Oh, thanks a lot there." Yeah, you're talking about tax penalizing behavior. That's also exactly. That's also very very important. Now they are saying that, well, we will tax you if you drive your car. At first they said we will tax you extra hard if you drive a petrol car. So go get an electric car. But did you know in Norway now, it's last time I checked, it's as expensive to fully charge your electric car compared to filling up your tank with gas, because the electricity here has become so expensive. Darren Adams, welcome as a member to the channel. Now, let's see. If I've been to a rig, oil rig, you mean? I've sailed out in the North Sea past a few of those. And I must say, even the ones with people on them, some of them were really small. That kind of surprised me. Olivia, again, thanks a lot. What do people think about the Azores as an apocalypse survival destination? Very good farming land and very few people too. Very temperate. I've been there. Beautiful place. So it would be interesting to know what people think about that. Okay, I think I've seen all the super chats. Jamie Pittman, thanks a lot there. Any news of your novels being published in English? If so, where can they be purchased? I can tell you, if I had a book deal for English publication of my novels, I would tell you, and I'm going to tell you when that happens. I think that since I've been outspoken about the madness that we have been through during the last 2 years, I've become unwanted by many English-speaking publishers. I suspect that's what has happened. So we'll see what happens, But I can tell you that if so, it was worth it, because sitting still, not using your voice about something as criminal and evil as what I'm talking about here, I could never have forgiven myself if I had not spoken out about this. Okay. But I'll get there. I will get there. I will get there. So, Okay, lots of comments now. That's awesome. We have 781 people watching. I don't know how many people are in the chat right now, but quite a lot of people actually. What are we talking about? Daniel is asking. I just scroll back to the beginning, I guess, because I can't repeat it all. Rainy Steps from Ontario. Thanks a lot for the donation. Yes, glasses. I know. I have glasses. Yeah. Can you imagine? um, okay. Let's see here. Olivia, again, thank you again for your contribution to my work. You are being very kind. Thank you. I'll read your comment if that's okay. Actually I will have to be a little bit careful because of the censorship. But you're talking about Florida, and Mr. Billy Boy uh, allowed for the release of GMO mosquitoes. Um, okay, that's um, that's scary. That's scary. So my glasses. These glasses are very. No, they're not bifocal, and it's like it's almost nothing. Um, they are not. My vision on this distance here is, it's just a little bit. I need. I could have done completely fine without glasses, but it seems to help me when with the headache when I use glasses for this. I don't use glasses when I write, but I do use them when I do detailed work, when I sharpen my knives and things like that. Um, and it seems to help a little bit against my headache. The Alaric 89. Thanks a lot, there. That's awesome. Thanks a lot. Now, if I visited East Asia, now East Asia, I've been to Thailand actually. I've been scuba diving in Thailand. uh, Boomer 21, thanks a lot there. And you're writing, there isn't enough hydro to switch every gas car over to electric. Your views. Now, I don't know the technical details when it comes to what you're talking about there, so I'm really not the person you should ask. Um, but I view now we have one electric car and we have one car, one normal car, and here's my, or I should say our. Uh, we've had an electric car for 3 years now. Yeah. So that's my wife. She drives that to her workplace. That's the police station, actually. She's a police attorney. So it was purely financial reasons for buying that car, because it was much cheaper. The toll booth thing is cheaper and all that. And and she can charge that car at her workplace while the car is standing there and she's at work. So it's perfect for that. It's rubbish if you want to depend on your car for going for long distances. It's obviously rubbish in a SHTF situation where you won't have electricity. So we would never have only an electric car, and we would not have two electric cars. We are considering going back to having two petrol cars because they're removing the financial reasons for having an electric car here in Norway. Also, when we look at the devastation and the destruction that these, especially the wind turbines, are making here in Norway, I kind of think that I don't want to do anything that demands electric power. Now, of course, my computer needs electric power and the light here needs electric power. But we try not to use, electric power has become, in my mind, the most harmful source of power there is, because they're going to destroy so much wilderness now, so much wilderness, and so much of the coastline as well. So, yeah, that's one of the things I'm really, yeah, that makes me very mad. Okay. Yeah, self-publishing, I've done that. Um, and yeah, I won't get into that too much. It's like it's a time. I can tell you that I don't have the time for that. If you're going to do it professionally, it's going to take a lot of time, and it's very difficult to do that when you are a full-time writer. People who self-publish, they will typically write a book and then stop writing, because then they are a publisher, right? So that's not for me. And it's not really about the money anymore. It's about getting the books out to lots and lots of people. And for that, will probably need a large publishing house. Okay, let's see if I. Yeah, nuclear power. Can I just say that? Well, I see the arguments, but I'm against nuclear power. And I think anyone who sat there watching the toxic cloud from Chernobyl moving towards Norway, if you remember that, you will not be in support of nuclear power. The Alaric 89, there's a podcast that's called Podcast Uten Navn, without name, it says. Thanks for that, and let's scroll up here. I'm trying to keep up with the super chats. Madison, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot there. And Olivia again. Everyone should look up the GMO mosquitoes. Okay. Do you live off grid? If that is that NC Prepper, thanks a lot there. But if you're asking me, I don't live off grid. I wish I did. That's the goal. But I don't live in the city. No. Convert 313, thanks a lot there. Do you use or have you used rune magic before? No. No, I haven't. Let me scroll up. Oh, okay. I think we're Um, I've seen all the super chats. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Going off grid is the only way moving forward. That's what I think. Um, and when we move from this place, which we will do, we want to have an off grid house, you know. Um, and there is no reason why you shouldn't have that now, because with the technical, all the technical stuff that you can live off grid with all the luxuries of modern life. So uh, there really is no reason to be connected to the grid. No reason at all. Um, Off grid living, says Ordo, makes you a big target in government eyes. Yeah, I'm sure it does. um, so, have you ever found chaga on the birch trees in Norway? Yeah, all the time. There are lots of chaga here. But I'm kind of glad that most people don't know what it is, because it's not that much. It's not that much. Um, okay. Is land expensive in Norway? Yes. Yes. Olivia, again, thanks a lot. And you're saying that they got nuclear fusion to a level of power produced to make it a viable option, but Lockheed Martin buried it. This happened in recent years. I see. Fierce Mermaid, thanks a lot there. How is your eye? Well, thank you for asking. It's completely healed now. So that went, quick. That was quick. But I was kind of scared because of the blurred vision that I had, and that was very painful. I would have liked to say that I've been sensible and I haven't fallen asleep on the couch again, but I have. I have. It's like TV bores me, and if it was up to me, we wouldn't have a TV in the house, but we do. And when TV comes on, I just fall asleep. It has to do with me getting up very early, 4 a.m. today. Then I do my writing, um, and I I work long days. If you add everything up, I make videos and all that, um, and that's why I'm so tired at in the evenings. Um, Yeah, I know Chernobyl, a very old Soviet Union, but also this has happened in very high-tech modern countries like Japan. What's your favorite music? My favorite music is, well, it depends. Um, I listen mostly to, well, it's easier to tell you what I don't listen to. Anything on the, obviously, the, what's it called, charts, the Pop music, I don't listen to that. But anyway, Boomer21. Interesting question there, and thanks for the donation. Do you consider the fall of the West somewhat similar to the fall of the Roman Empire? Yes, there are, and many people, historians and so on, have talked about this. There are many similarities, and it's very easy to see those similarities. We are now facing another challenge, not so much only in the West, but a challenge that suspiciously has been trending in even mainstream media lately. Depopulation, the depopulation explosion, the coming depopulation. And I'll end this live stream with just throwing that out there. Isn't it strange that suddenly we're going to talk about depopulation and how young people are less fertile than they used to be? You know, isn't that strange? Isn't that strange? I know what I think, and of course, there is also the one part of this is of course that some people they don't want to have kids, and both young women and young men are very often being discouraged from having kids, discouraged from establishing a family. But when it comes to the people who want to have kids, but now they can't, it's strange, isn't it? It's strange, very strange that this is happening now. And of course, we are seeing a boom rising, at least in Norway. Last time I checked, uh, uh, because in the childbirth, because at the start of this thing, people they were back home, working. They were having home office and so on, which led to them having more intimacy. But people need to look at the timeline here, okay? Because this boom, you have to go back 9 months, right? And if you go back 9 months before the boom, I really don't want to be demonetized. So, but look at the timeline. You will probably not see a boom 9 months from now in the countries where I'll just have to stop there because it's just it is what it is, and you know what I'm talking about. I can see that you know what I'm talking about here in the chat. Jefferson 33 says move to America. I would like to, but I can't travel. I can't travel without having to accept things that I've already said that I will never accept. So at least until you get the new administration there, something like that, I can't come to the USA. I can't. The only country, there are only a few countries that I can travel to. Very soon, I believe England, which is I'm looking forward to that, and some few other countries. But the entire EU, Can't go there. Can't go there. And that's quite dramatic when you think about it. I cannot cross the border to Sweden. I live very close to the border. When I go to the powerlifting gym, I go there with my son like, once a week, and we drive to that place. It's like if we take a turn to the right, 5 minutes there, we would be in Sweden, but we can't. We can't. G. Matheny says we will fix this. If you are in the USA, I really hope you do. And Americans are very resourceful. That's my impression. They are resourceful people. And I truly believe that you can fix this. Use a boat. Yeah, I know, but at some point I would have to register that I am now in your country, right? So, um, Colin, just come to the USA, across the border with Mexico. Yeah, I know, and thanks a lot again, Olivia, Mr. Klaus, and thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the donation there. Old Klaus has told us we will never return to old normal. No, of course, and they don't want that, The rest I can't read here, but I am reading it. I can't read it out loud, but he's a piece of work, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, I really want to come to the USA because I've only visited New York, Los Angeles, and then I drove one day up in California to the north to see the big trees there. That's all I've seen of the USA. So obviously I want to come back, but doesn't look like that will happen anytime soon. So, okay, I'm going to have to end the live stream. This was a good live stream. Lots of great comments and lots of good people here. That gives me hope. So I hope you'll have a wonderful day to those of you in those time zones where it's now morning, and if you are in North America, it's evening there or nighttime. I hope you'll have sleep well, have a wonderful night, and we'll talk soon. And again, thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for all the comments, all the likes, and we'll talk soon. Okay. Bye.